Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Independent Schools Equity and Access Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you are here. My name is Catherine, and I will be your facilitator for this session. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. All sessions are being recorded, including this one, and will be available at strivescan.com/westtown. We are currently in session C4, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentation. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our very first representative from Colgate University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylin Hunter, and I'm the representative from Colgate University. I'm an admissions counselor here. My specific areas are Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Long Island, and I'm super happy to be connecting with you all during this session. Colgate is a small liberal arts university located in Hamilton, New York, a very beautiful place to live and learn for 4 years. It is a small environment. The town has about 4,000 residents, so it is something to think about when you're choosing your colleges, making the final decision. But I actually think our rural setting is one of our strongest points. We have an undergraduate population of around 3,200 and 12 grad students. So even though we are a university, we do have grad students. All of the opportunities that are usually afforded to grad students at larger institutions go directly to the undergrads, which I think is a really awesome thing. Here at Colgate, we have a student to faculty ratio of 9:1 and an average class size of 18. We also promise that none of your classes will be taught by TAs. So we guarantee that you'll have those close connections with your professors. And I highly recommend, if you're interested in Colgate, signing up for an informational interview with one of our current students. And I guarantee they will all have a wonderful story of how a professor has gone above and beyond for them. We have 56 different majors here and 10 distinct minors. In addition to those programs, we also have 5 pre-professional networks in pre-law, pre-health, business, communications, and film and media studies. Whatever major you choose to go into, that'll take up about 1/3 of your classes here. The next third of your classes will be within our core curriculum. That's something that really sets us apart from a lot of our other liberal arts peers, is that we do still have that core. The foundation of this core is 4 classes, which are aimed at really instilling critical thinking, problem solving, analytical skills, all of the wonderful tools that you will need to succeed not only in your later 2 years at Colgate, but also for the rest of your life. The last third of your classes can really be whatever you're wanting to make them. You can add a double major, you can add a minor, you can add 2 minors, or you can just take classes that pique your interest. We're really wanting you to, while we have that structure, to also explore, take advantage, find new passions. Outside of the classroom, we have about 200 clubs and organizations for you to take advantage of. I almost guarantee that if you've done something in high school or there's a part of your home community that means a lot to you, we have a club or organization here at Colgate that's already doing that, and you can join that community. But on the off chance we don't, we really highly encourage our students to form new organizations. Very easy. It's as simple as coming to the university with an outline for what your club does, a list of members, and we will give you funding. We want our resources to go to what makes students happy. In addition to that, we are a Division I school, which means we compete at the highest level of collegiate athletics in the United States. I believe that does contribute to our renowned sense of school spirit, but I think the thing that really makes that most prominent is the fact that it is a decision to come out here to Colgate. It is a more rural setting, but the students, the faculty, the staff have made that commitment and really throw their all at making this a wonderful institution. And you can see people reaping the benefits of that 20, 30 years down the line. We have an extremely loyal alumni base of over 35,000 active alums who are constantly giving back to the institutions. This manifests in great internship opportunities for our undergrads. We have a Colgate specific LinkedIn, and we just built an entire new career center. So anything you're wanting to do after your 4 years of college, Colgate will prepare you to be successful. Before the pandemic, we had a 98% of our students were graduating going into either grad school, the work of their choice, volunteer service, and that's a huge success rate. During the pandemic, that number is still at 94%, which is amazing. We will prepare you educationally, socially, and in terms of job opportunities with your education here. Moving on a little bit to admission and financial aid, we do still have our early decision 1 deadline at November 15th. So there's a couple days to get in that application. If Colgate is the top of your list, it is a binding agreement. So that's something to be aware of, but we really love seeing those applications. We have crafted a very strong community here, and we love students to come in and be 100% dedicated to that. But we realize that not all students can make that commitment by November 15th. So we also have a regular decision and early decision 2 deadline of January 15th, and would love to see your application in that pool as well. The last thing that I want to mention is financial aid. Here at Colgate, we pledge to meet 100% of demonstrated need for all of our admitted students, whether that's $75,000, $30,000, $20,000, $1,000, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that this wonderful education and all of these opportunities are available to as many intelligent, awesome students as possible. In addition to that, we have recently adopted our Colgate commitment, which has 2 main parts. The first of which is that if your family makes up to $80,000 a year, you will actually pay no tuition to come here. It will just be the cost of room and board and additional fees. But if your need is greater than that, we still pledge to meet 100% of need. The second element of this commitment is our no loan initiative. If your family makes up to $150,000 a year, you'll have no loans as a part of your student aid package, just Colgate grants and work study. If you have any further questions or would like to talk more, I'll be answering in the Q&A, but I'll also put my email down in there as well, and would love to reach out and talk with y'all at any point in the future. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Awesome, thank you. The next representative is from Elizabethtown College.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today, wherever you are. I hope you're having a terrific Saturday here. My name is Adam Smith, and I appreciate you jumping on. I'm going to share my screen here real quick and go over a few things about E-Town with you all, for anyone who is unfamiliar with us. We are a small private school. We're located right here in central Pennsylvania. It's a brisk fall day here in PA today, but beautiful out there right now. The leaves are changing, and just wanted to talk to you a little bit, one, about our location. We are in central PA, so we're within 30 minutes of Harrisburg, Hershey, and Lancaster as well. So we're in a really good location here, pretty much close to everything in PA, but we are a small private school. So if you're looking at an institution that has small class sizes, E-Town may check some boxes for you. We don't have any big lecture hall classes. The average class size here is going to be about 18 students. You can raise your hand and actually get called on and build long-lasting relationships with your classmates and your faculty. The one word you're going to hear over and over again about us is outcomes. Our students are job ready on day one, and they have some very strong career opportunities waiting for them. Our students are graduating with very minimal debt, and they're able to do that because we offer some very strong pre-professional programs here, which I'll jump into now. Our school is actually made up, our college is made up of 7 schools. Some of the more popular majors for us would be our health and STEM programs. We have a very strong occupational therapy program. We have an accelerated pre-physician assistant program. The School of Business is the largest on campus right now. And then we do have some new programs, which would be exercise science, neuroscience, and then also a new engineering concentration as well, our mechatronics, robotics concentration. But hopefully that you see something on your screen there. If you're sitting there and you're saying, hey, I have no idea what I want to study, that's okay. Undecided is the most popular major in America. So we know it's hard to ask someone who's 17, 18, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Here at E-Town, if you are undecided, you can come in and take core classes that would coincide with essentially any major. So you don't have to backtrack and make up a lot of ground. Our students are doing signature learning experiences that help prepare them for any real world situation they may encounter. We have a very strong internship program here. We have a very robust study abroad program, also a competitive honors program, but our students are able to work one-on-one with our premier faculty and they do so by building those relationships early on in the process. So you can see some of the signature learning experiences that we have here. These are all going to pay off down the road for students that are looking to get that career under their belt. But we have a very vibrant campus community. We do guarantee housing for all 4 or 5 years that you may be a student here. Freshmen are able to have a vehicle. That's one of the more popular questions that we get asked all the time. And the food is very good. We don't outsource any of our dining services. So there are plenty of dining options here, including a food truck, which is kind of cool. But I will point out our career services office, because that's available for the rest of your life. If you come to Elizabethtown College, they're going to help you with a lot of those small details that become big later on. Writing your resume, writing your cover letter. They do mock interviews. They do dinner etiquette classes. They really work hard to get our students ready and prepared for what they're going to face out in the real world. We have 24 Division III athletic programs here on campus as well. We just built a brand new $25 million athletic facility here on campus. And we also just built a brand new softball field as well. So the school is certainly investing in athletics. We're in the Landmark Conference, so we play against a lot of competitive teams right here in Pennsylvania and across the Mid-Atlantic. We also have nearly 80 clubs and organizations that you can take part in as well. So I always say there's something for everyone, and it's very easy to get involved here on campus. Very rarely do you find an E-Town student that's only involved in a couple of things. They're involved in multiple things on campus because it is so easy to get involved and connect with your classmates. But you can see we have different types of clubs and organizations, advocacy clubs, some are political clubs, some are specific to your major, and then others are more hobby-based as well. I did want to talk to you about the application process. If you're a senior and you haven't applied, there's still plenty of time. And if you're a junior, sophomore, freshman, wherever you are in the application process, kudos to you for being here and just learning a little bit more about the next steps. At E-Town, it's free to apply. We have no application fee. We are also test optional, so SAT and ACT scores are no longer required. We've worked very hard to remove as many barriers as possible. We want to make it as easy for you to apply as we can. And so we are rolling admissions. What that means is once you apply and you get us your supporting documents, we're going to read your app and get a decision out the door to you within a week or two. And then you can expect to hear about your merit scholarship award as well. And you would have until May 1st, which is that priority deposit deadline. But we know for most families, it comes down to cost. We work hard to be as transparent as possible about our costs. So we have some very generous merit scholarship awards that you can qualify for as you go through the process here at E-Town. The best way to check us out, though, is by visiting our campus. So come check us out. We have plenty of opportunities in person and virtually. And the team, we have a great team here. We're excited to meet with you. So let us know how we can help answer your questions as you continue your college search here at E-Town. Thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your Saturday.
Very helpful. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, so feel free to submit those questions using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all, our representatives are here to assist. The next representative is from the University of Vermont.
Hi, everybody. My name is Candace Duckworth. I'm the Regional Associate Director of Admissions for the University of Vermont. I work with all the students in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, so I'm really happy to be here today for you to learn a little bit more about UVM. And to kick us off, we've got a quick little teaser trailer. I love to kick off with that just to give you a little glimpse into our community up in Burlington, Vermont. And when I talk about UVM, I always kind of come back to this theme that I think UVM has the best of both worlds. So to kind of sum this up, this slide helps. We are old. We were founded in 1791, so we're actually the 5th oldest college in New England. But we're constantly renewing our programs and our facilities to kind of keep pace with the ever-changing world around us. And we are a medium-sized university. We have right around 10,000 undergraduate students. So that's big compared to liberal arts colleges, but it's definitely smaller than many other national research universities. So you get that small school feeling, but you get the scale of opportunities, resources, and activities of a larger institution. And then, like I said, we're in Burlington, Vermont, which is both urban and open. We are right in the city. It's a small city known for great food, music, and arts, but also great business and technology innovations. Then you've got Lake Champlain and the Adirondack Mountains, and the Green Mountains, all in our backyard. Some other quick facts about UVM. Again, we have about 10,000 undergraduate students, but you might notice that the ratio of our in-state to out-of-state students is a little unusual for a state school. We actually have a majority of our students coming from outside of Vermont, which really contributes to our diverse community. And then we do offer over 100 different majors, and we're organized into 7 different schools and colleges. It's totally okay if you're undecided. You've got a lot of flexibility to explore all of your interests. And kind of guiding this exploration will be your faculty members. And the professors at UVM are world-class scientists and scholars, and they're really driving to be making new discoveries in their field, but they also love to teach. So at UVM, they get to do both. And another hallmark of UVM is definitely our land grant heritage. Land-grant universities are dedicated to education that improves the health of our societies, and guided by that mission, you'll find a really strong sense of purpose in our classes and laboratories and clubs and really every aspect of life at UVM, and you'll have some amazing facilities to support your learning. We have 92% of our students participating in these experiences, including internships, research, service learning, study abroad, and all those experiences where you put knowledge to work and make it come to life. The residential experience, where you're living on campus is a big part of college life as well, especially in your first year. And we do require students to live on campus for 2 years. We put a lot of thought into this. So we have everyone living in different learning communities that bring students together around a common interest. And it helps you start creating that home away from home feeling for yourself. You actually get to pick your preferences on your housing application. So maybe your learning community relates to your major, maybe it doesn't. Our UVM community is also dedicated to supporting and celebrating the unique identities of every student, faculty, and staff member. And I think one of the most important things we have within our community is called the common ground, or our common ground, which is our commitment to promoting respect, integrity, innovation, openness, justice, and responsibility in all that we do. And when new students arrive on campus, they actually sign a pledge to uphold these values at a candlelight ceremony on the university green. And that's one of our most cherished traditions. And our community also deeply values diversity, equity, and inclusion, again, in all aspects of campus life, whether that is our different identity centers or affinity spaces. And also this is reflected in our general education requirements, clubs and organization, and kind of throughout your college experience. A little bit more about Burlington. It's one of the nation's favorite small cities. Like I said, great food, music, arts, shops, parks, lots of recreational activities. And the Burlington is a really innovative city as well. It's where companies like Burton, Ben & Jerry's, Dealer.com, and Green Mountain Coffee all got their start. And our students find great internships with these innovators, but also, smaller, larger businesses and different agencies, organizations as well. Burlington's also super easy to get to. The airport is just 3 miles from campus, and there are daily direct flights from several major hubs. You can also get to Boston and New York City by bus, car, or train in less than half a day. I think it's true that where we are shapes who we are and how we learn. And in Vermont, from the Green Mountains to Lake Champlain and kind of all of those waterways and farms and forests in between, really give our students and faculty amazing opportunities for studying the environmental science, wildlife, food systems, and many more majors, like all hands on. But you don't have to be studying, environmental science majors to be drawn into Vermont's special landscape. Really just walking across campus, taking in the mountain views or the lake views, really inspire us to think differently about our relationship to the environment and how we can sustain its beauty and its resources. And for students who love to hike, bike, climb, ride, ski, snowboard, all of that, maybe you want to try them for the first time, there's so many possibilities close by. And then just a little bit about our application process to close. We are on both the common application or the coalition application. Our early action deadline has passed for this year, but any juniors or our underclassmen can take note for next year, but we do have regular decision coming up on January 15th, so there's still time to apply. We do a holistic review, so we're taking into consideration all the different pieces of your application. We will be test optional for fall of 22 and fall of 23 at least, so it's really up to you. If you've got test scores and you'd like to submit them because they contribute to your record, then so be it. But I'm looking forward to working with you guys. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll put my contact information in the chat. Thanks so much.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. Our last representative here for this session is from Wesleyan University.
Thank you, Catherine. Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Thompson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an Associate Dean of Admission at Wesleyan University. Wesleyan is located in Middletown, Connecticut, which is a city of about 50,000 people, located in central Connecticut, about 20 minutes from both Hartford and New Haven, Hartford being the capital of Connecticut. We're also about 2 hours from both Boston and New York, so Middletown is a really apt description, if not very creative, for Wesleyan's location. At Wesleyan, we like to call ourselves a liberal arts university, which is the combination of both a liberal arts and sciences college as well as a research university. We're a little bit of a larger liberal arts college in that we have about 3,000 undergraduate students currently enrolled. This means that you get to come in and connect with students who have a totally different life experience than you and live closely in a really close-knit community that gives you the opportunity to explore throughout your 4 years. As I said, we're also a research university, so we do have about 200 graduate students enrolled at Wesleyan in programs in the natural sciences and mathematics, as well as ethnomusicology. Being a liberal arts institution means that we're not offering pre-professional programs like nursing or business. Instead, we're really focused on supporting skill-based learning, so the ability to think critically, speak articulately, write eloquently, problem solve creatively, and work collaboratively. And one of the ways that our faculty encourage this is by having a fully open curriculum. So that means that there is no set of specific courses that you're required to take to graduate on time. You get to come in and take the classes that are most interesting to you and really determine for yourself what your path is going to be over your 4 years. This means that we have an unusually high percentage of students double majoring. About 50% of students at Wesleyan who've declared their major are currently double majors, and they're combining things in very disparate areas. So things like computer science and English, or biology and studio art. But we also have students who double major in areas that may be more aligned, like computer science and math, or biology and chemistry. But I think what an open curriculum really does is it allows you to make connections with your faculty members and with your peers in a way that I think are quite deep and encourage being part of the knowledge production process. And it means that you're also never sitting in class with someone who's just there to meet a requirement. And I think that really, as I said, elevates the level of discussion you're able to have. It also means that there's a lot of opportunity to get involved in professors' research and to be conducting your own research over your 4 years. So from your freshman year on, you can get involved in research. Being a graduate institution as well means that we're eligible for graduate level funding, and we're conducting graduate level research on campus, but the majority of that's actually happening at the undergraduate level, especially in the sciences, but we also have really strong research opportunities in the humanities and arts and social and behavioral sciences. And students, by the end of their senior year, I think about 40% of Wesleyan students are published in peer-reviewed and academic journals by the time that they graduate, which is almost twice the national average. We are a fully residential community, so students are living on campus all 4 years. This really encourages students to stay connected to the Wesleyan community and be engaged within our community over 4 years. And our housing operates on a progressive independence model. So in your first year, you're living in a residence hall surrounded by folks who are also trying to get to know the institution and connect with the community. But by your senior year, you have the opportunity to be living in a wood frame house that's owned by the institution, but you have your own kitchen, bathroom, living with people that you've chosen to live with, because we believe that it is our responsibility not only to be teaching you how to be a good academic and community member, but also not only a good academic, but also a good community member, and be thinking about the communities that you're going to join after you leave Wesleyan and how you'll impact those. Being a fully residential community means that we have a lot happening on campus. You're never going to be bored unless you choose to be bored. We have over 250 clubs and organizations on campus that are all student run and led, and that really extends itself from varsity and club sports, as well as intramural sports, to about 12 a cappella groups, 15 dance troupes, a student-run theater production company that's putting on upwards of 8 shows in a given semester, and everything in between, a lot of identity, faith-focused groups and affinity groups, as well as activism-based groups and community engagement organizations that students have created in partnership with the Middletown community. We are both a common application and coalition application institution. We don't have a preference as to which one you submit. It's really up to you as to which one you feel is the best fit for you. We're also a QuestBridge partner institution and a Posse Veterans partner institution. And if you have any questions about those, I welcome your questions in the chat. We have 3 rounds of applications for first-year applicants. Early Decision 1 is a November 15th deadline, so I'm looking forward to Monday. And then Early Decision 2 and Regular Decision are both a January 1st deadline. Early Decision at Wesleyan is binding, meaning if you do apply an Early Decision, you're agreeing to attend. And a couple important highlights are that we are a test optional institution. We've been test optional since 2014, and we do meet 100% of demonstrated need for the students whom we admit. So I do encourage you to apply for need-based financial aid if you believe that you'll need it over 4 years at Wesleyan. And we guarantee that no student who qualifies for financial aid will graduate with more than $19,000 in loans total over their entire 4 years. And if you and your family are making under or around $120,000,
I believe Kate may be frozen there. Can you hear us? Okay. Hello? Okay, we'll give her a moment to join us back there and let her wrap up her final thoughts before the session ends. So, yep, there we go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much to all our representatives. Some great information shared. Just another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those questions using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all about the college application process, or even if you have a specific question for any of our reps here today, we encourage you to include the school name. We do have some time left, and so we are now going to pivot into our Q&A portion of the session. I invite all our representatives at this time to go ahead and turn on their cameras to get ready to unmute themselves for our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? What advice would someone going through the college search process? We'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented in.
Yeah, I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give is just to really do your research. I'm a big proponent of Excel spreadsheets, so really looking within and seeing what majors you're considering, even if you are coming in undecided, just to make sure that the schools that you're looking at offer all of those different options, or easy to switch between options if it's in the location that you're wanting to go to school in, because some students are wanting a more rural environment and some students want a city. So really just looking in, comparing, and trying to be as thorough as possible is definitely the best piece of advice I can give, and Excel spreadsheets.
Can't go wrong with spreadsheets. I agree completely with that. And, you know, visiting as many schools as you can, obviously that seems pretty obvious, but I can't state that enough. If you can get on campus, that certainly will help. I always say that no school is going to put something on their website or their virtual tour that they don't want you to see. So you have to go and check it out in person. It's all about fit. So I would say visit as many schools as you can and use the admissions counselors to your benefit. A lot of times we will go to bat for students, especially if we meet with you and we get to know your background a little bit. So we're here to help, and certainly we'll go to bat for you.
Okay, that's usually my advice, is like reaching out to us as admissions counselors as well. So I would say though, enjoy your senior year. I think seniors get really wrapped up in the college admissions process, and it can be really stressful in the fall, but still take the time to enjoy your senior year of high school, all the fun things that come with that, work hard, but still have a lot of fun as well.
Awesome. I believe we have the rep back from Wesleyan University.
Yes, Catherine, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
We are having a bad storm on the East Coast and I've completely lost internet in my home.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I completely understand. If you want to wrap up any thoughts that you had, we are in the Q&A portion of the session. So the question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Well, my advice is you never know what's going to happen with your internet. So apply early, submit those applications early, get it done. Don't wait until the last minute. But I'll let others jump in here as I get resettled.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and jump into our next question here then, which is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
I would say the one thing that I want y'all to remember about Colgate is just students love it here. And I kind of mentioned in my little spiel about it is a more rural setting. And I was not lying when I say that students, faculty, staff throw everything that they have into it, into making it a positive experience. And we get a ton of really loyal alumni out of that. People love it here. It's a wonderful, welcoming community, both academically and socially.
I think one thing about E-Town, I mean, we're a close-knit campus community. So the word I would use is homey. A lot of students tell us it's a home away from home. We have a lot of really cool traditions here on campus. We give everyone who visits our campus carrot cake. We do a Thanksgiving dinner where we actually dress up and serve our students, and we have a tree lighting ceremony as well. So I think we have a lot of traditions that will help bring students into our campus community here.
I'll always just say for University of Vermont, really just that best of both worlds kind of mentality, that we really have a little bit of everything. I think we're in that perfect sweet spot when it comes to size and the breadth of the opportunities that we offer. And you can't beat a location that looks like this.
I would say the one important thing to really know about Wesleyan is that there is a lot of opportunity to explore, to figure out what you're passionate about, and to sort of live out that passion. I think Wesleyan students are practical idealists in the sense that they really see the world as it could be and want to make change to bring that into reality. And they do that both from inside the system and from outside the system looking in. And I think that there's really a place for all different types of perspectives and opinions at Wesleyan. And as I said, that opportunity to make mistakes and grow throughout your 4 years.
I just absolutely love that question. I think it truly shows how unique each institution really is. And so you all kind of highlighted that in a great way, especially for those who are going through the college application process and are considering a lot of different things. Really appreciate that. Our last question here, which is, what is one myth you would like to debunk on the college admissions process? What is one myth you would like to debunk on the college admissions process?
I would say, at least at Colgate and in terms of our holistic review, is that every bit matters. And we, like a lot of other colleges and universities during this time, and some for long before us, are adopting test optional policies given the pandemic and everything going on in the world. And it truly, at least at Colgate and a lot of other institutions, is optional. And so if you feel like your test scores are the best representation of who you are as a student, send them in. But if you don't send them in, we will not give it a second thought. It's really about making sure that you feel comfortable as the applicant with how it's being read, and we will read every single part of it. So everything matters. Don't leave anything out. Really take the time to make sure you're presenting yourself in as well-rounded manner that I'm sure all of you are, and just really getting all those pieces of your personality into the application, and that is what will make you the most successful.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I think for us here at E-Town, it's that maybe debunking the fact that we won't actually read your application. We'll take the time. We're going to read your app. We'll read your essay. We're going to read the letters of recommendation to see what other folks are saying about you as well. But we can also, I'd like to debunk the interview process. When we say interview, it's really a conversation where we want to get to know you as an applicant and see what you can bring to our institution. Any student we admit, ultimately, we just want to make sure you can be successful and contribute to our campus community.
I'm sure it might be the same for you guys at other institutions, but I feel like this fall especially, I got a lot of emails or outreach from students saying like, what can I do to make my application stand out? Like a week before the deadline. I think my advice, my response to always that is there's nothing that you can do to make your, application stand out. Like there's no one magic formula or some amazing thing that we're looking for at that like 11th hour to make you stand out. I think you need to trust that you've been doing all of this work for the last few years, and we're going to see that. So, we're going to see all those different pieces, like we're reading your transcript and your letters of recommendation, your essay and activities, and you've already done all of that work. So there's not like one big amazing thing that there's no big secret that we're hiding from you for the college admissions process.
I think all of my colleagues have mentioned really good myths about this process. And what I would add is that there doesn't necessarily have to just be one perfect fit. There are over 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone. And there are a lot of undergraduate focused institutions that provide great resources and support to their students. And in this process, sometimes fit has to do with a fit for your family and a fit financially. And those are important factors in addition to getting that sense of the feeling or the sense of a place being the right fit. Sometimes it's a little bit less clear than that, and that's okay. It's okay to not know yet, and it's okay to pick a school that fits financially and fits for your current situation. And as long as you take advantage of the resources that institution offers and, commit to that place, it can be a really good spot for you over the next 4 years.
And a great way to end. There are a lot of myths out there, and I couldn't agree more with everything that everyone has shared. And here to debunk a lot of those myths about the college application process, the college search process, even more so. So again, thank you for a great Q&A, for all the information shared. We really appreciate each school being here for this session, and we appreciate you for joining us. We have now reached the conclusion of this session. As we close, there'll be a very quick 5-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, it would be extremely helpful. And this session is being recorded, so feel free to watch later on demand at strivescan.com/Westtown. Thank you all and have a great day.